Your project may have many different stakeholders, but not everyone has the same role across the project or even at a task level. Different stakeholders might have different roles or even multiple roles across multiple tasks. The more complex your project gets, the more important clarity and agreement on these roles within your project becomes. That's where RACI comes in. RACI is an acronym for the most common roles that stakeholders have in a project. Each stakeholder is listed as an R, A, C, or I based on what their role or relationship is to each task. Let's take a look at what these letters mean. R stands for responsible. These are the people who are responsible for actually doing the work. There should always be at least one person who is responsible for a task. A stands for accountable. Accountable people are responsible for signing off on the work. There should really only be one accountable person per task in order to allow for clear decision making. C stands for consultant. These people give input on the work before it's signed off on, but they aren't necessarily responsible for doing it. And I stands for informed. These are people who just need to know what's going on with the work, but aren't directly involved in it, and aren't decision makers. Let's dig a little deeper. We'll take a look at RACI and TeamGantt to show you some examples of how it can be used. To access the RACI matrix, click on the RACI tab at the top of the screen. Here, you'll see a list of all of your tasks broken down into their groups. It's similar to list view, except there are columns of all of the project's stakeholders listed to the right. When you mouse over one of the stakeholder boxes on a task, you'll see a small drop-down arrow appear. Clicking the box brings up the RACI assignment list. From here, you can create RACI assignments for any project stakeholders who've been invited to the project. You can also clear out assignments from here as well. As you can see, this first task, Define Content Hierarchy, already has assignments listed. Let's take a look at them. Henry and Jason have been listed as responsible for this task, so they're the people who will actively be working on it. Angela is listed as accountable. Once the work is done, she's the one who signs off on it. Chloe is listed as consultant, so if Henry and Jason have questions on the details of the task as they work on it, she is who they would consult for input. And Michelle and Nathan are listed as informed. This means that there are reasons that they need to be kept up to date with the task's details. For instance, they may be responsible for tasks that are dependent on this one. Let's click into the task and see if it has any dependencies. It does. And as suspected, Michelle and Nathan are assigned to the dependent task, Create Sitemap. So we'll list them as responsible for that task. Now let's say that Angela is managing the whole content group of the website design project. In that case, she would again be listed as accountable on this task as well, as she's the one who would be signing off on the work. Let's say that Henry is our subject matter expert on whatever this content is. So if the team has a question on how things should be laid out, he's probably the person to ask. We would list Henry as consultant on this task. If we click into the task details, we'll see that the following task, Write Content, is dependent on this one. And since Chloe is assigned to that task, we'll want to make sure that we keep her informed on the status of Create Sitemap. Also, because Jason is part of the work on the content team, let's list him as informed as well. We'll repeat this process with the rest of the content group of tasks, and now it's clear and visible to our content team who is doing what, who is being reported to and determining the task is signed off on, who they need to keep informed, and who to go to with questions. One last thing. Once the RACI assignments have been distributed to the stakeholders on your team, the best thing to do is to meet and discuss them with your team to make sure that everyone understands and agrees with their roles and responsibilities in the project. This makes sure that everyone is on the same page and prevents costly disconnects in your team's understanding of the work. It's an important last step to making sure that the details of your project are clear and visible to everyone involved in it. And it will help to keep it tracking in the right direction. The RACI feature is available on all plans, but only users with admin or edit permissions can edit the chart. To learn more about how TeamGantt can help you keep your plans clear and visible, go to teamgantt.com/support.